being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad?
Here.
Councilmember Perry?
Here.
Councilmember Simonson?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Here.
Mayor Beck?
Here. Okay, before we begin anything today, we have the proclamation, Put the Brakes on Fatalities. October 10th has been declared Put the Brakes on Fatalities Day by the Township of Lower. Whereas across the nation, traffic crashes caused 35,092 fatalities in 2015, and are the leading cause of death for young people ages 15 to 34. In New Jersey, 562 individuals lost their lives in traffic accidents in 2015. Alcohol-related crashes account for 28% of the state's traffic fatalities, while 26% involved unsafe speeds. Motorcyclists, bicycle riders, pedestrians face increased risks. 50 motorcyclists, 17 bicyclists, 173 pedestrians were killed. And safer driving behaviors such as buckling up every ride, obeying posted speed limits, stopping for pedestrians in crosswalks, using crosswalks when walking, avoiding aggressive driving behaviors, never driving impaired, wearing proper safety gear while riding a motorcycle or bicycle, and focusing solely on driving by avoiding distractions can dramatically reduce the number of traffic-related injuries and deaths. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Michael E. Beck, and the Lower Township Council do hereby proclaim October 10, 2016, Put the Brakes on Fatalities Day, and call upon everyone to put these life-saving behaviors into practice to improve safety on the roadways in our community and throughout the state. Amen. Okay. So, having gotten through that, we now move down to the consent agenda. Do I have council comments, questions on the consent agenda? Open it up to public comment on the consent agenda only. Okay, close the public portion.
Approval of the New Jersey State Firemen's Association membership application for B. McCluskey at the Villas Volunteer Fire Company. Approval of minutes, September 19th, 2016. Excuse me, resolutions number 2016-274 through 2016-282, and ordinance number 2016-06, the salary ordinance for 2016. This ordinance is required to be adopted annually. This is the first reading of this ordinance. The second reading and public hearing has been scheduled for the October 17th meeting.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes.
Resolution number 2016-283, a resolution authorizing payment of a voucher in the amount of $10,000 payable to Lower Township Rescue.
Okay, do I have any council comments on this? Open up the public comment on this resolution. Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Recused.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Mayor Beck?
Yes. Move down to administrative reports. If anybody has any questions or comments. If not, we'll go to council comments. Tom?
Keep it quick. I'm waiting for some word about a few different things happening in the township, especially in the Villas area. Unfortunately, news hasn't come in yet. On the flip side, the monarch butterfly habitat went pretty well. I'm hoping in the spring, so everyone that we see a big difference down at the old magnesite plant. That's what he's actually doing, is reclaiming some of that land to make it more environmentally friendly for everybody and to bring the monarchs back into this area. Other than that, have a good night.
Just a reminder to everyone that October is Fire Prevention Month. Very important. especially we're in the fall. It won't be too long from now that we'll be starting our heating systems up in our homes. If you haven't already, make sure that your heating system has been inspected or checked by a professional, as they should be on an annual basis, to make sure that they're going to be in proper working order when the weather does get cold. Most importantly, to make sure that you do have working smoke detectors in your home, carbon monoxide alarms also. For further information and help or assistance in any way with any fire prevention thing that you may have, a smoke detector not working, so on and so forth, please feel free to contact our Fire Bureau, the Bureau of Fire Safety. They have personnel that will come out at any time during their working hours and assist you in any way they can. Also, I would like to ask Mr. Ridgway to give me an update. I was notified by some residents on the Roseanne Avenue track as to what the progress was for that project. And so to get the word from the horse's mouth, so to speak, Mr. Ridgway.
With regards to the Roseanne Avenue, excuse me, I have 4 things to report on at this time. There was a meeting today with Mark Schrey, along with Mark de Blasio, the MUA director, along with Gary Douglas, Public Works, and a few things took place. First off, I signed the dewatering permit for the state of New Jersey, which will allow us to pump water out of Roseanne Avenue before we start putting the new piping in. In the event that there's large amounts of water under the ground, it will allow us to get a majority of this out. It will also help the contractor in deciding how to provide the appropriate pump for the pump house location at the end of Roseanne. Number 2, water main replacement will be taking place in the next 4 to 6 weeks on Roseanne Avenue. 3, the bid process for the actual construction project will not start till the springtime, because we still have to wait for CAFRA to do all their permits and respond with those permits. Once we get those bids, once we get the permits, we'll be going out to bid. Lastly, the house that we have on Roseanne Avenue that we're going to be demolishing for our pump station can't be demolished yet due to the CAFRA permits that haven't been received. According to the engineers, until CAFRA gives us okay, we have to stand pat due to riparian right issues, along with wetlands buffer issues at the end of that street. So that's all I have right now on Roseanne Avenue.
Thank you. Thank you. Good update. And last but not least, the Bayshore Road issue that we've been talking about in North Cape May. I hear this morning that we have some good news on that. I haven't been working on this myself. Councilman Eric Simonson has been working with me with the county to try to get this project going, and Eric can, Councilman Simonson can give us further information on that.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, the bid was, there was a bid by the county that's been put out and received and accepted for the engineering for that, from Fishing Creek Road all the way to Sandman Boulevard. So a nice stretch of Bayshore Road that will be getting done. And I know Councilman Perry's been on this for a while, and we're looking at crosswalks and a lot of safety features along the road that aren't in there. I know one is at the main intersection of Town Bank and Bayshore. We've had many complaints there, and with good reason. We have a lot of senior citizens there at Conifer, as well as Victorian Commons, and access across the intersection there, and even to the intersection. There's the sidewalk to nowhere, we call it, because there's a sidewalk that ends, and many of the residents that are disabled that use wheelchairs or walkers or have people pushing them along that area have no access to get to that walkway to get across, either to Wawa, the bus station, other places in that area. So it is good news. The engineering portion, the bid has been accepted, so that work will begin soon. And as far as that goes, there's also other areas in the township, but there's a lot of infrastructure that we're getting done here. We're moving forward. We've been persistent south of the canal, as well as we're looking at the intersection, if anyone's driven down Seashore Road where Town Bank meets Seashore Road. That intersection is a mess. That's also, there's things on a list, so that's coming up too. We'll get that taken care of. We're also, at this time, in the middle of, for those of you that remember, we had a problem in the Diamond Beach section of Lower Township with the fire insurance rates going through the roof. They were maxed out for our residents there. And we got a deal done with shared services with Wildwood Crest and our fire district number 3, as well as the township, that where they were our first responders. Wildwood Crest was our first responders, which brought their fire insurance rates back down to a 4, which were at a 10. We're now in the process of keeping that there, and we're going to get a longer contract done, either a 3 or 4 year contract, and that should be done soon. I know Wildwood Crest is going to work with us. They've been very helpful, and as well as our fire district, Irma Fire, and we look to have that finished soon. Other than that, just be careful driving home, because I don't know if the power's still out, but there were several traffic lights on the way over here that were out. So that's it for me.
2 items. First of all, one more time, reminding everybody in the township with children, a child that's 3 years old, if you would like a teacher to come into your home or meet you at the Fishing Creek School and help prepare your 3-year-old for school, we have 2 teachers that have dedicated their entire year to helping your child get ready and be better prepared for school. So I just wanted to make that appeal one more time. All you have to do is call the elementary school, and they would be very happy to enroll you in what they call the 3VP program. Secondly, we have to keep our eyes on FEMA and the whole issue with, the way with government, sometimes they give you the one-size-fits-all from Washington. And when we appealed to FEMA and said, listen, don't treat us like the Atlantic Seaboard, recognize the Bay is a little bit different than the Atlantic Seaboard, they basically said to us, we don't acknowledge that. We are citing a rule based on a federal law that says that they have to look at us just like they would be looking at the Atlantic coast. They ignored all of the great scientific arguments that our folks from Stockton gave them, and we're going to have to keep fighting this, because once that FEMA map gets implemented, it's going to have a terrible effect on folks along the Bay Shore with their insurance and other issues. So we have to keep that front and center. We'll bring it up at the Delaware Bay Shore Council. Councilman Conrad and I will ask the council to maybe send a message to Congressman Lobiondo and help us on this matter, because it's something that's going to affect all the folks along the bay. So that's all I have.
Okay. We have the HMFA meeting, funding for water installation, Tuesday, October 4th, tomorrow, 6 p.m., meeting room at Town Hall. This is the thing on the haunted trails. You want me to read this section? Okay, the haunted trails for this year has been suspended due to the construction that is ongoing at the airport grounds. In lieu of that event, the Lower Township Department of Parks and Recreation, in association with the Lower Township Healthy Youth Coalition, are offering Lower Township Spooktacular. This event will include the following: trunk or treat, indoor inflatables, music, a haunted house, and costume characters, along with an indoor Halloween-themed family movie. Free Halloween bags will be offered to children in attendance. This event will be held at the Lower Township Recreation Center on Saturday, October 29th, beginning at 5 p.m. I would assume we're doing a press release on this, right? At some point, Laura? Okay. Okay, and the Lower Township Department of Parks and Recreation is hosting their annual Halloween costume parade on Saturday, October 15th, beginning at 11 a.m. at historic Cold Spring Village. The parade is part of the annual Rotary Club Pumpkin Festival. Okay, that's it, right? Oh, no, wait a second, the Rising Nation. And then we have the Lenape. Rising Nation Healing Sands Align Us. Join us for a day devoted to clean earth, clean air, clean water, featuring Native American traditional dance, drumming, storytelling. And that is Saturday, November 12th at Sunset Beach Sportsman's Club. The gathering begins at 10 a.m. with a fireside fellowship at 6 p.m. And that's a lot of our friends that have come down in prior years and have done the kayaking along the bay. Very, very concerned about the status of the bay and preserving the clean water and our heritage here. Okay, so I think we have a contact if anybody in the press wants to reach out to them to see what that's about. But again, that's November 12th. Okay, that's about the extent of it. We'll open it up for public comment. If anybody has a question or comment and wishes to talk to council.
Bill Greenfield, Villas. I missed the consent agenda. I wasn't here. But number 276 for the resolution for Congressman Lobiondo.
Right.
Is that the V-zone maps only?
Yeah, and basically what it
Because,
boils down to is that, go ahead.
There's a lot of people that aren't in the V-zone, but weren't previously in a flood zone, and now they're in the AE2 zone. Matter of fact, there's a merchant down on Bayshore Road. Previously wasn't in a flood zone. Now he's in an AE2 zone. He sits on a concrete pad, and now he's got to have flood insurance. I mean, there's more people affected than just the people in the.
By fighting the V zones, I believe we're also fighting the VE and everything that ties into it, because they're all tied together. It's trying to get everything changed on that
Not
aspect.
just the V zone, but
It's
the
everything.
AE2 also.
Yeah,
or-
because it's,
If he's on a concrete slab, I mean,
yeah, no.
But
yeah,
he's
there's
all the way
bigger
down
flood insurance
Bayshore.
than there's
He's all the way
VE.
down Bayshore Road. He wasn't previously in a flood zone.
And now
Now
also
he
in
is.
practice.
So it's
Bill, I was on the conference call for an hour with Stu Farrell from Stockton, the director, a scientist from Delaware, and we battled with them
Right.
about the methods, and they presented a new method besides the WAFIS method, which was this fun wave method, and basically they just wouldn't move off of their stance, which would be to look at us differently. But we explained to them the impact of all the residents, not just the beachfront.
All right.
Absolutely.
So it's
And
not the V zone only, it's
we,
the whole process.
well, Congressman Lobiondo's team were on the call. I received the call from them 2 days later, and we drafted another letter which council, basically, we're going to send it back to Lobiondo's office, figuring it will strengthen our position, but we really want to get in front of this SRP, which is a scientific review panel. We want to plead our case with them, and the gist of the phone conference, personally, I don't feel they wanted us to get in front of this panel. But there's a lot more people involved in that area, as you know, and a lot of things could happen.
Yeah,
whether it's
I just wanted to see that it was all the areas that got into a higher
No, it's
rating than they
It's
were
all tied
before.
together.
very
Not
serious.
just the V,
That's-
okay, all right.
Where the deputy mayor said the Bay Shore Council, it's everything we could do to try to get this, to help the residents. That's the key thing. What I was going to say is I have a friend that was never in a flood zone. Her neighbor would go underwater.
Right.
She's in the new flood zone. He's not,
Right.
the neighbor.
I mean, it's like everybody around me. I wasn't for some reason because I sit up higher, but now I am, but everybody
Because they
around
just-
me was.
Threw some lines.
And like I said, way down Bay Shore Road, he was never in a flood zone. Now he is. So. Okay, thanks.
Does anybody else wish to address council? Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.